Hi and welcome back to CloudNets, where networks meet cloud. And today in CloudNets we're going to talk about TIP DDBR, Telecom Infra Project Distributed Disaggregated Backbone Router, and the RFI that went out. And hey, we got a ribbon, so we need to talk about it.
Yep.
And as always, we have the expert for
Acronyms.
RFIs, for acronyms. Ran, thank you for joining, Ran. Let's talk about the DDBR process tip and everything we need to know about this new.
Okay, first off, it's a process within the DOR, Disaggregated Open Router project. And there are three things which are important to note. Yeah, in this case, it's three things. Usually we have more, three this time. So first step is that TIP has taken the definition of a distributed router, what was previously defined as a distributed disaggregated chassis coming from the OCP, and has taken it a step further. In this case, not talking about the architecture, how the boxes are connected one to the other, but what kind of functionality is running on top. So there's a clear definition of the router and what does the router need to do as a function that runs on top of that infrastructure.
So it's complementary to the Open Compute project.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the things that TIP is doing is complementing what OCP has defined, put in place.
Okay, second thing.
Point number two. TIP has a process, and this process comes to define what are the attributes that are needed to be performed. There's an RFI which is being issued. Vendors respond to this RFI.
And who won?
Exactly, the industry. That's the nice thing about
Everyone.
TIP. The industry wins the game because it's an open standard.
Win.
It's a triple win.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a triple win. And then it goes up into a testing stage, after which
kind of a plug fest.
Yeah, kind of a plug fest. Yeah, the definitions of the testing and the testing themselves, and eventually there is a certification coming from TIP that is being awarded. Same process went to Open Run as well.
Right.
In a way, the DOR.
A while back.
A while back. DBR kind of has started later than Open Run. Open Run is much more advanced and evolved into this and already in deployment. DDBR is a step behind, and now we start to see actual deployments.
So DDBR is the next big thing in networking for 2022.
It's big. It's very big. It's very big and more complex and more interesting, at least from our end. And then the third thing is the operators which are taking a part in this. The RFI was defined by KDDI, Vodafone, Telefonica, and MTN. And there is a lot of participation from other operators as well into this. And what we start to see is that the deployment is not necessarily coming from these four. Also from these four, but not only. And we start to see more operators worldwide adopting the model of a DDBR and starting to implement various functions, various routing functions, and others on top of that infrastructure. Cool.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ran. So the three things you need to remember about TIP, about DDBR, and about DOR is that A, it's a step further compared to the OCP DDC, the Disaggregated Distributed Chassis from Open Compute project. It describes also the functionality and not only the architecture. Second, it's a process that started with an RFI and evolved into something that many operators can leverage from and can use. And the operators are the winners of this RFI for that matter. And third are the operators themselves. So it's not only about the operator that initiated this process. We see that operators are enjoying the fruits of this process and leveraging this open standard architecture from Telecom Infra project. This is it. Thank you very much, Ran, for
my pleasure.
As usual, this insightful inputs, and thank you for watching. See you next time on
Cheers.
CloudNets. Bye-bye.